Have you ever walked into a place and felt the air, thick and oppressive, as if the very walls held secrets they desperately wanted to tell? Imagine a place where that sensation clings to you with every step. A place not just silent, but eerily alive, waiting. Tonight, we unravel the tale of a college dormitory so abandoned, so haunted, that its terrifying whispers have persisted for decades. This is the Nightside Archive, and tonight's chapter is titled The Whisper of the Abandoned Dormitory. It all starts, innocently enough. In the 1960s, Rosewood College was a beacon of elite education, nestled deep in the countryside, miles away from bustling cities. Its ivy-covered halls were the stuff of postcards, the perfect embodiment of an idealized academic utopia. But every utopia has its shadow. And at Rosewood College, that shadow fell over the dormitory known as East Hall. East Hall wasn't just a dorm. It was a relic, an imposing structure built during the late 1800s. Its creaky wooden floors seemed to groan under the weight of countless stories left untold. It wasn't uncommon for students to dare each other to explore its dimly lit halls late at night. Many said the dorm had a presence, a sort of watchful stillness. But for decades, as far as anyone knew, that was all it was. A spooky old building steeped in superstition. Until one night in the fall of 1972, Carolyn Baker was a freshman with an adventurous streak. The kind of person who laughed at ghost stories and rolled her eyes at warnings from upperclassmen. To her, East Hall was an ancient monument to outdated fears. So when her friends challenged her to spend the night alone in the then-closed East Hall, she didn't waver. Armed with nothing but a flashlight and a sleeping bag, Carolyn prepared for an uneventful night. She gave her friends a mock salute as they locked the old wooden doors behind her. The first few hours passed uneventfully. She wandered the dormitory's empty hallways, inspecting broken furniture, peeling wallpaper, and dusty old portraits of long-forgotten faculty members. The place wasn't haunted, she told herself, just tragically neglected. By midnight, however, Carolyn decided to settle in for the night. She chose one of the cleaner, abandoned rooms, laid out her sleeping bag, and turned off the flashlight. For a while, everything was still, the kind of stillness that wraps itself around you, making you hyper-aware of every small sound. But then, it started. At first, she thought it was her imagination, a faint, whispering sound, like a breeze threading through the leaves. Except there were no leaves. There were no breezes. Carolyn rationalized that it must be the wind outside, squeezing through the poorly sealed cracks in the walls. But the whispers grew louder, more numerous, almost conversational. And then she realized something chilling. These whispers seemed to come from just beyond her room, from the hallway. Gathering what little courage she could muster, Carolyn decided to investigate. Her flashlight flickered as she stepped into the corridor, but there was nothing there. The whispers stopped. Silence engulfed her. But she couldn't shake the feeling that she wasn't alone. Suddenly, a door down the hall slammed shut with a violent crash. Carolyn froze, her breath caught in her throat. She scanned the hallway, her grip on the flashlight tight enough to leave crescent moon shapes in her palm. Every nerve in her body screamed at her to flee, but something compelled her to move forward instead. As she approached the door, the whispering began again. This time, it was immediate, like voices hissing in her ear despite the emptiness around her. She reached for the doorknob, her hand trembling. Slowly, she pushed it open. Nothing. The room was utterly empty, a mirror of the decayed abandonment she had seen throughout the dormitory, but there was something different here. Written across the wall in dark, jagged scrawls were the words, "Do not stay." Carolyn's blood ran cold. She stumbled backward, slamming the door shut. Whatever courage had brought her here now abandoned her entirely. She sprinted back toward her sleeping bag, only to find it dragged halfway down the hall. It was as if something, or someone, wanted her to leave. By dawn, Carolyn's friends returned to unlock the doors, only to find her waiting outside, shaking, pale, and unable to form a coherent sentence. She never spoke of what happened that night, but her friends noticed one thing. Carolyn left Rosewood College the following week and never returned. Over the years, the story spread like wildfire. Students claimed to hear inexplicable whispers when walking past East Hall. Others swore they saw the faint outline of a woman silently standing in its windows at night. In 1985, a fire gutted most of the building, sealing its haunted legacy forever. Today, only its skeletal remains remain, an eerie reminder of what might lurk in places we've abandoned. But here's the most unsettling part. Investigators who visited the ruins decades later claim to find faint remnants of the writing on the walls, preserved as if protected from time. Was it all just an elaborate college ruse? Mass hysteria fueled by youthful imagination and years of rumors? Or was there something truly malevolent in East Hall, chasing off anyone who dared to enter? The answer remains shrouded, but one thing is clear. Some places don't just hold secrets, they whisper them.